get it.
That's when we should start talking about All-Star snubs. And obviously the first one that comes to mind is going to be Trey Turner.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's having a fantastic season, but for some reason, he's not an All-Star.
Francisco Lindor starts over him. And
now Lindor is also
he's having a decent season, but I mean, 750 OPS.
I mean, he's got the home runs, though. He's got what? I think
Trey's probably the best shortstop in the National League, and he leads the league in hits. He's third in baseball in hits. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz is having a pretty good season. That's why he's deserving of an All-Star. But I mean, we're talking about Trey Turner, who's third in the league in hits and not an All-Star.
Well, I mean, there are guys that don't really deserve to make it every
probably
year.
One of the best Phillies hitters, if not the most consistent one we have currently.
Like, what year was it? 2021 or 2022 when the Phillies only had one All-Star that year, and it was Nick Castellanos?
Oh, that was 23.
Did he really deserve to be an All-Star that year? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, his numbers weren't particularly fantastic.
Here's this. That's my hot take is, why does every team get an All-Star? I don't think every team deserves an All-Star at this point, because we're getting people that are getting snubbed out of the All-Star game for bullshit, like Julio Rodriguez with 247 average and 695 OPS, and the league just wants to, and the league think that's All-Star caliber talent? It's under 700 OPS? And we're an All-Star? Like,
just the fact that he gets voted in by the fans. Or
Freddie Peralta, like, who does not deserve an All-Star over Christopher Sanchez and Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez has an ERA under 2. I get he's missed time, but he's had an ERA under 2.
Yeah, but with him, he's only had 12 starts.
That doesn't matter.
I mean,
Acuna's missed time. How come he gets a start in the All-Star game? How come he gets to play in the Home Run Derby? I don't give a shit if it's Atlanta.
Well, also the difference is pitchers don't get voted in. Pitchers are just selected by the coaching staff and the commissioner, and we don't get a chance to vote in.
The thing is, there's so many
other
pitchers that could have not been in the All-Star game, and Ranger Suarez and Christopher Sanchez could have taken their spot. Freddie Peralta, Yamamoto from the Dodgers, Chris Sale is injured. I'm hoping.
Well, I mean, think about this for a second. Think about all the great years Zach Wheeler has had here. He's never started an All-Star game.
He hasn't.
He has not started an
All-Star game.
Wouldn't you say that he's probably the best pitcher in the National League?
The best pitcher in the National League, and he's well deserving to start the All-Star game, but
never has,
because Paul Skeens dates a hot girl and gets a lot of attention in the media. He'll probably start the All-Star game. Zach Wheeler isn't really like a name that pops up more than Paul Skeens.
Plus, the league wants to sell all these young guys that are gonna, be around for what they think is going to be 10, 12, 15 years. That's why, remember when everyone fell in love with Tim Lincecum, like 2007?
Yeah.
And then he fell off by like 2012 or 2013. He had like a nice like 4 or 5 year
stretch
span. And then he completely fell off. But even afterward, even after his numbers started looking bad and the injuries piled up and he wasn't really any good anymore, people still revered him and talked about him like he was like, oh, he's still such a great pitcher, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, stop trying to sell me on something that I can clearly see with my eyes. It's not
I get it, like, Paul Skeens is good. I mean, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if Dave Roberts even starts Ohtani. I get it, he's been pitching. I mean, Ohtani's going to get you clicks, but I doubt that. I wouldn't be surprised if Shohei starts.
Is he going as a pitcher?
He's going as a DH.
Right, he's not going as a pitcher.
He's not going as a pitcher.
So I don't know if he's
allowed
to. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to. So
I just think it's really stupid. Like, the Cubs get Matthew Wood. He's having a great season, but they already have Carl Armstrong and Kyle Tucker. The Cubs have a lot of good talent, too, that got snubbed. Michael Busch. Come on, they're both lefties. Matthew Boyd, Ranger, Christopher Sanchez. Can we just take him out and put him in? Like, they're having so much better seasons, dude.
Now, have alternates been named yet for the people that will be replacing the people
they haven't
who are
named
sit out the All-Star game?
They have not named the alternates.
So they do like Sanchez at least still has a decent shot of getting in.
I'm
through
thinking he
an
will
alternate.
just because Chris Sale's injured.
Right,
Someone's gonna have to take a spot.
I think that he still has a good shot at getting in, but the fact that it has to come down to the fact of like he is an alternate to get in.
That's pretty disappointing. I feel like.
Yeah, because this is a guy who literally leads the major leagues in quality starts. He's had, I believe, I saw a graphic last night on the broadcast. He's had 50 quality starts over the past 3 years, which is like, I think they said like 11 or 12 more than any other pitcher.
Which is absolutely insane.
And this man isn't in the All-Star game. He's having a fantastic year again this year. He's gone 7 innings in all of his last 9 starts, they said, which is ridiculous.
Like, you don't see that out of pitchers that much.
Like...
That's 9 consecutive quality starts.
Well, I don't think they said 9 consecutive quality starts, just that he went 7 innings in.
Yeah.
So maybe he gave up 4 runs instead of 3 in one of those. But, I mean, still, if you're going 7 innings, you're able to keep your team, obviously, in the game and have confidence
that your offense can hopefully score some runs.
Well, not only that, but that you're not going to give up any more. You know? Like,
you got to trust in that bullpen, too.
So, yeah, it kind of stinks.
I think it's ridiculous.
The
voting is a popularity contest. I mean, Francisco Lindor does not deserve to be starting over. I mean, Trey definitely deserves to start over Lindor. Like,
I mean, Trey definitely deserves to make it at least. Like, all right, if he's not going to get voted in by the fans because everyone likes to sit here and complain about Trey Turner because, for some reason, the fan base just doesn't really seem to like him very much.
The fan base, he makes one error, and the fan base, there's pitchforks down Broad Street.
No, I think it all stems from, remember when he first got here?
And he had that really bad start to the season.
Not only that, but his introductory press conference, where he stood up, he put the jersey on, but he refused to put the hat on.
Dude, I don't even remember that.
He literally refused to put on the Phillies hat. And they asked him, like one of the, reporters asked him, like, how come, like, blah, 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 like, you're not putting the hat on or whatever. And he made, like, this joke of, like, oh, I just got my hair done and I'm going to dinner later tonight, so I want to keep it looking fresh. I don't want to mess it up by putting the hat on. And it's like, dude, what the hell? You wear a hat every single goddamn day for your job. You can't put it on for 5 seconds.
I feel like people are supposed to wear the hat when they get
They are.
That's
that's a thing. Like whenever you get introduced as a new signing somewhere, you button up the shirt, you button up the jersey and you put the hat on. Like I've never seen a player not wear the hat. And I think that rubbed people the wrong way. After that happened, he immediately got like this pretty boy image,
Yeah,
like
I'm looking at the pictures right now.
Like this, like, oh, I'm soft. I care about my appearance. I want to look like I'm a pretty boy, like blah blah blah. And that just didn't.
His hair looks good in the picture. I mean, it looks professional.
But I think that rubbed people the wrong way initially, and then when he had a fantastic World Baseball Classic and then came here and was very underwhelming.
Struggled for the first 4 months of the year.
Yeah, it just left people initially with that bad taste of, all right, well, he kind of seems like he's a dork and also like he's not playing very well and we're grossly overpaying him. And as well as I do, this is not a good place to get off to a rocky start in your relationship because it's very hard to get the fans back on board when you've already lost a decent portion of them.
I do say that standing ovation did really help him.
It did. And the thing is the standing ovation helped him, and I believe the next season he came back, was doing good.
Yeah, the next season he made the All-Star team.
Right, but
played really well.
That's when he was playing really well, and then he had the hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Right? And then he was bad in the playoffs because of the hamstring injury.
Well, the entire offense was bad in the playoffs. There's nothing really you can say about that.
But that gets held against him.
Yeah.
And that gets held against him. Why? Because of how previously it started. Because of how he was bad when he first got here. And all of that. So, like this fan base remembers this type of stuff,
Oh, yeah,
and whenever you
definitely.
do something wrong, they're
Dude,
very quick to bring up what you've done wrong.
He makes
in the
one
past.
error, and WIP has their coverage for the next 8 hours. He made an error, blah 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 blah. He sucks.
I mean,
I don't know why we're certified to talk on the radio.
If you want to sit there and say that he can be better defensively, yeah, he definitely
He
can.
can be.
Obviously, everyone can be better defensively, and it's not hard to be better defensively when the mistakes that you're making are like fundamental mistakes, like I'm overthrowing the first baseman or things of that nature.
I'm
Like-
bobbling a ground ball.
Yeah, like that's all stuff that can be easily correctable, and unless you're talking about the fact that, he has no range, he can't read a ball off the bat, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that is a lot harder for you to be able to make up for or to be able to correct. So if you want to sit there and say that, then all right, maybe you do have a point. But I don't think anyone's saying Trey Turner doesn't have the range to play shortstop, are they? I don't think anyone's saying he doesn't have the
because
coverage to play up the middle of the field or the arm strength to be able to make the throw from the hole.
if they were bitching about how he doesn't have the range to play shortstop, wouldn't you just play him at second base? Like,
Exactly.
There's not that much range from second to first.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like the things that you hear people complaining about are things that would be a problem for any position, whether or not you're playing shortstop or not. It's not because he's playing short that's the problem. The problem is he's not doing the fundamentals correctly, which is throwing off his mechanics and why he throws the ball all over the place sometimes. But that doesn't mean he's a bad fielder. Just means he needs to sort himself out, basically.
I mean,
and it seems like he has.
every defender is going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see him consistently bobbling or overthrowing.
I mean, he's been pretty solid the past 2.5, 3 months, hasn't he? I feel like
he has, yeah.
He had that rough little 2-3 week period where he kind of forgot how to throw the ball to Bryce Harper.
But besides that, he's been fine.
Other than that, he's been pretty good. So he's probably one of the only guys on this team that has a positive defensive run value at this point.
Yeah, probably.
I
mean, we know Nick Castellanos doesn't have a positive run value. We know Johan Rojas doesn't. None of the outfielders.
Do you know the amount of times that I see
Marsh.
A single that gets leaked into the outfield that turns into a double because Nick Castellanos can't get to the ball quick enough?
Does his little jog or whatever?
No, dude, he's running full speed.
He's running, yeah.
He's running full speed, and he's just barely moving.
I mean, we're probably faster than him at this point.
Dude, when you see his jersey jumping as much as it does when he runs, he's running full speed. Yeah,
also, dude
he's not running fast.
He wears 2 sizes over. I mean, his jersey is flailing as he runs.
That probably doesn't really help. Definitely doesn't make him any faster.
It doesn't, yeah. He's adding extra weight on himself.
Yeah. Not only that, you're adding extra surface area. And, and if you are familiar with aerodynamics, the way to increase your speed is decrease wind resistance. How do you decrease wind resistance? You decrease the amount of surface area. If you increase the amount of surface area, you got more wind that's pushing you back. So if you have clothes that are way too big for you, and they're pushing out like this, you're making yourself wider than what you really are.
Yeah,
you're not allowing the wind to curve around you in the natural way that it should.
You're going to be sluggish.
Yeah. Well, it creates a little pocket, an air pocket, behind you that pulls you back. That's why if you ever look at track and field athletes, they wear skin-tight stuff.
They wear skin-tight clothes.
Right. It's to avoid that little drag
from the wind coming at you.
Yeah, it's to avoid the drag by carrying you back. Because there's this little pocket that forms behind you when you run, because you're breaking the air. So what happens when there's an air pocket, other air rushes in to fill the space. So when other air rushes in, it kind of pulls you back. And it's almost like wind resistance, keeping you from running at your top speed. So when Nick Castellanos, is sitting there and wears things that are 2-3 sizes too big, it doesn't do him any favors in the field when he's already pretty slow to begin with. And I mean, I can't really say too much about his actual ability to like catch the ball, throw the ball,
Like
that stuff.
He can catch a routine ball.
Yeah, that stuff he's fine with. But like he unfortunately just doesn't have the athleticism to be an outfielder. Like, you know?
I heard multiple executives would be willing, or multiple executives said, like, there's a possibility he can get traded at the deadline. And my thinking is, what team's going to take on that contract? What team is going to deal with 3 strikeouts a day? What team is going to deal with loop slapdick singles in the outfield?
Unfortunately, I think you're kind of stuck with what you have right now with Castellanos.
That's what I'm thinking. You're stuck with him.
Not because of the fact that he doesn't have value, though. Because of the fact that he's your only right-handed bat right now.
He's your only right-handed outfielder.
He's your only right-handed bat, really, that you can sit there and say might run into one. Alec Boehm, you don't really believe he's going to run into one, or at least not yet.
Maybe and Trey is probably our best right-handed bat, not an outfielder.
Right, exactly.
We're talking about maybe if the Phillies wanted to go all in, they would put Kevin right and Kevin left. I don't ever see that happening, though.
Yeah, I don't think that Kemp is the answer for the playoffs at all. I mean, I've seen him make hard contact, and it just seems to, he's had a couple of balls that he's hit really hard that they make a loud noise coming off the bat, but they all kind of seem to die at the wall, it seems. They just lack that little bit of oomph to get over.
Yeah.
And they all just get caught on the warning track, it seems like, most of the time. So, I don't know if he's not generating enough topspin through his swing to create enough carry to get the ball over or something. But, I mean, some of those balls go an extra 3 or 4 feet. Otto Kemp might have 4 home runs instead of 1 right now. And we're completely talking about him very differently. But because of that,
yeah.
We're sitting here not saying that he's someone that we could see as a long-term solution. I mean, he might be someone that could fit in as a platoon bat here and there to spell some people, but I'm not going to sit there and say, as much as I'm clamoring for Otto Kemp and how much I was saying I'm excited for him, blah, blah, blah.
It's not like he's I'm not top prospect who was painted to be.
I'm not starting him in a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really think the Phillies want to do that. They don't want to put this kid in the position of having him start a playoff game in a position that he's played, 5 times since he's been up here in the majors?
This article was from ESPN for the Phillies trading for a right-handed bat who's an outfielder.
Yeah, Byron Buxton, right?
Byron Buxton,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I saw that. And
Andrew Painter and Justin Crawford.
Fat chance that's going to happen.
That doesn't happen.
No chance in hell Dave Dombrowski is giving up Andrew Painter.
He's not giving up Andrew Painter for a guy that gets...
I could see him giving up Crawford, but...
Yeah, Crawford, but I don't
not
think
Painter.
The Twins won't accept that.
And definitely not Painter and Crawford just for one player. There's no way.
He's under contract, but he's
already 31, 32 years old.
He's got injury concerns.
Yeah, there's no chance.
I don't want an injured outfielder.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Dombrowski's not going to do that. If Dombrowski's going to he's not going to trade Andrew Painter.
Yeah, he's already off limits, especially since you're probably going to have Ranger Suarez leave in the offseason. I mean, it's either you re-sign Ranger Suarez or you re-sign Kyle Schwarber.
Well...
And with how stacked the Phillies rotation is...
Here's the other thinking, though. The other thinking is maybe if you let JT go, you're able to potentially get rid of Castellanos' contract next year in the offseason.
Yeah, if they're somehow able to dump
you can bring
Castellanos
Ranger back
in the offseason, that would be surprising. I think Ranger's going to make 9 figures in the offseason. If he continues pitching like this, I can see him making well over $100 million from some team.
Mm-hmm. Well, then it comes in a question of if you want to bring Ranger back, if you trade Castellanos, right? If you're able to get a team to take his contract and you don't re-sign JT, because that clears up $32.5 million right there. Castellanos is
Yeah.
making 20. I think JT's making 12.5.
And then JT's already a free agent, so.
Right. So you're getting if you're clearing $32.5 million off the books, you can give Ranger a 20, probably 27, $28 million contract plus incentives and stuff like that, and you would be able to re-sign him. Only question is, does that mess up your ability to maybe re-sign Boom heading into the final year of arbitration the following season, and do you want to keep him around?
He's under arbitration. I don't know how the Phillies will view him,
because
especially if like Andrew Miller banks and he gets called up next season.
Right.
Plays really well, better than Alec Bohm.
Right.
You're not moving at shortstop. You're not moving at first.
Bohm's kind of the odd man out.
You're kind of.
And I don't really know if they think that Miller is going to be playing second base.
I don't think so either.
I don't think Bryson Stott's future here is really a sure thing either.
Yeah, especially with the way he's been playing.
Yeah, like I don't think Bohm or Stott or Marsh would be necessarily safe by any means. Like I'll put it to you this way: if you could get a player that's going to help the team, and you got to give away a prospect and Stott or and Bohm or and one of these guys, 95% of us fans are probably taking that offer.
Especially if it's for the right player.
Right, like if you want to say that Byron Buxton deal, but you want to take out Andrew Painter and substitute
Mick Abel.
Well, no, not Mick Abel.
Not Mick Abel, but
you want to substitute in there Jesus Luzardo? Because I'm not really sold
this is last year before arbitration?
I think he might have one more after this year, I believe.
Okay.
But I mean, are you really sold on Jesus Luzardo? He had a very good start to the season.
He had a very good start to the season.
But is that just a blip on the radar?
I don't know if that was just.
I mean, look at his career numbers. His career numbers are not the first 10 games of the season that he had this year.
Because I think if
his career numbers are kind of more in line with how he's been producing the past 4 or 5 starts.
I think if Luzardo continued to pitch like how he was in the beginning of the season, I think he makes the All-Star team.
Yeah.
But clearly we haven't seen that these past 6 or 7 starts. 12 runs, 8 runs.
He was Cy Young favorite.
Yeah, and 12 runs, 8 runs, 6 runs, 4 runs. I mean, he looked good against the Mets, but besides that, I mean, hasn't really been great for him.
And
he's been good against the Mets and the Cubs, which are 2 of the best teams in the National League.
But he has been very inconsistent, and if you look at his, track record across
Miami,
wherever he has been,
yeah.
That is kind of what he's been. He's been a very inconsistent pitcher. He will have stretches where he looks like he's completely dominant, and then he will also have stretches where he gets torched every second or third time going out on the mound.
He was tipping his pitches the first time.
I mean, why do you think Oakland got rid of him initially? Oakland, when they see value in someone, they don't let that person go until it's the final year of their arbitration, as they did with Matt Olson, as they did with Chapman, as they did with a lot of their players.
What Oakland did was they needed an outfielder because I think Laureano got suspended up until that point, and they were able to get Marte from the Marlins because the Marlins were playing really bad, and Marte actually played really well for the Athletics. I just watched the video on it from some guy, Jolly Olive.
Jolly Olive?
Jolly Olive.
What a great name.
I know. He's a really good YouTuber. I really enjoy his stuff, but
I might have to check him out.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I mean, with what's going on here, I wouldn't be surprised, or at least I would be willing to part with kind of just about anyone.
Not making an absurd amount of money?
Yeah, I would be willing to sit there and I'd be willing to sit there and trade JT even. JT,
I feel like...
What's he really giving you? If you can go out there and get a bona fide right-handed bat and it's going to cost you a prospect in JT Realmuto, you're gonna.
Do you want to? I don't know if fans are gonna want to sit through Rafael Marchand and Garrett Stubbs because I don't know how the catching situation is gonna look until tape comes up.
Well, Tate's still a decent ways away.
He's still a decent ways away.
I mean, he's only in what, like high A?
He's he's in high A.
He's in Jersey Shore.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have no idea what his numbers are down at Jersey Shore. I haven't been looking at. I've been mainly checking.
I'm not going to sit here and say that he's ready because he's going to be like 3 to 4 more years.
Yeah, I don't think he is ready.
I don't think the Phillies are going to be sitting there saying,
But
"Oh yes, let's use Rafael Marchand and Garrett Stubbs for."
Hang on.
More years.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Dave Dombrowski, I hope you're listening. I have an idea. Seattle's got a pretty damn good catcher right now, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess what else Seattle
really
has? Pretty damn good prospect for a catcher that is in AAA mashing right now, who is being blocked by the fact that they have Cal Raleigh, and he's not going anywhere, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Harry Ford. Number what?
Yeah,
20-something prospects on the MLB pipeline, top 100 list. He's, I think, the Mariners' number 2 or number 3 prospect overall in the organization. And he plays catcher. And guess what?
He played for...
Cal Raleigh just signed an 8-year contract. He's not going anywhere.
He played for Great Britain in the WBC.
Yeah, and the Mariners have already come out and said they don't want to move him from playing catcher.
Oh, yeah, he's batting .308 with 900 OPS in AAA.
Yeah, so guess what? If Seattle has a chance, because they're in the final wildcard spot, they're in the playoff spot right now. They're going to be looking to add at the trade deadline. What's somewhere that they could use some help that they've been pretty bad in recent seasons, and this season specifically? Third base and second base.
We talked about that infield.
Yeah, third base and second base have been huge areas of concern ever since Kyle Seager retired. Third base has been a revolving door of people that have underwhelmingly performed.
Eugenio Suarez and
you had Eugenio Suarez. You have Josh Rojas that they traded for from Arizona. Luis Urias, who they traded for from Milwaukee. This year it's Ben Williamson, who's a rookie who is not ready, that was called up because the guy that they had playing third base wasn't cutting it. Donovan Solano. I mean, whatever way you look at it, their infield has not been very good from an offensive standpoint. I mean, third base has been pretty good defensively because of the fact that Williamson has been called up and he's made some great plays. But Williamson's got like a 230-something batting average. Like, he's not someone that is giving them any offensive help. And they could definitely use an upgrade. So if you could potentially get, Harry Ford in a deal with them, you could potentially send JT somewhere else that's catcher needy.
But the Mariners aren't catcher needy.
Exactly. That's what you can use JT in another deal.
You can use JT in a package.
Yeah, you could put JT in a package in another deal for someone.
I don't know if they'll trade JT so early into the. Hold on. I don't know if they'll trade JT
I understand
in the season because he's reliable. The Phillies are going to trust a rookie. This guy hasn't made his debut yet, and I don't think they're going to trust him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have Rafael Marchand in the playoffs. I mean, maybe...
You do have a solid point.
You could do something in the offseason.
But the thing is Dombrowski's going to have to get creative some way or another to get this team to be the best version of itself it possibly can be this year. Because is there a clear path forward that you can say, this is the guy, go get him, he's the missing piece? I don't really think that the Phillies are in that spot yet.
There's not a really missing piece that they're getting.
Right. They need to they have a couple of holes all over the place where it's not just one thing where it's like, all right, if they just fill this thing, then there they go. They're right there. So you kind of have to think a little outside the box with how you're going to be able to really get this team over the hump when you have so many holes that you're trying to plug, and you can't make a trade for 4, 5, 6 different players.
Yeah,
you're not going to get 4 or 5 guys in freaking 2 weeks, 3 weeks time. you're probably going to get maybe one trade where you're going to get 2 players from an organization that will help you, and another trade where you're going to get 1 player. You might get 3 in here if we're being really optimistic.
we've just heard about that, like Byron Buxton trade that I doubt happens. I've heard Chapman, Bednar, Santana, AJ Suarez.
Chapman's on Toronto now, right?
Chapman's on Red Sox.
Oh yeah, he's on the Red Sox now.
And all the players are rentals.
Mm-hmm.
Bednar, Santana, Chapman. I think Eugenio is a rental as well. Eugenio is going to strike out a lot, but he's going to give you power.
Yeah, but
I don't know if the Phillies want someone at third base that's going to strike out a lot.
Well, my thing with him is he's the exact epitome of what every other player is on this team. He's extremely streaky power hitter.
Yeah, I feel like he'll be like a Kyle Schwarber third baseman type.
Like he hits his home runs in spurts, you know?
Yeah.
He'll sit there and give you the Nick Castellanos 40-something games without a home run drought, and then he'll have a span of 14 games where he'll hit 8 home runs and inflate his numbers. And it's like, yeah, it's great for those 14 games, but for that 40 where he's going through that drought and they really need him, he's not doing anything. He's striking out.
Yeah, that's what I'm most worried about. And I don't know if they're going to do Gino at third and Bohm at first and Bryce back to the outfield. I've heard rumors about Bryce going to the outfield if the Phillies acquire an infielder that requires him back. That requires him to move back to his original position, right? But then, I
don't think that's happening.
I don't think that's happening this late in the year. Bryce going to the outfield. I don't know what they're going to do with Castellanos.
I don't think that's going to happen, period, because of his wrist.
Yeah, and the wrist is always a big concern, too, if you're going to throw the ball way harder.
Think about it. He's come back, and he's 0 for what? He's struck out 9 times so far since he's come back in the past 4 games.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing the best baseball.
He's like 0 for 16 or something.
And he got on base a couple times last night, but one of the bats in the 8th inning was absolutely just not even entirely his fault. That goes to the MVP of Monday night's game, Phil Cuzzy, for the Giants.
He was absolutely awful.
Absolutely
all
terrible.
Freaking night, and it was only for the Phillies. It literally was only for the Phillies. It wasn't for the Giants. He was spot on.
He was spot on for the Giants. Then exactly what we're talking about in the at-bat in the 8th inning with Bryce up. I think the first 2 pitches were outside for strikes, and then Orion Perkering pitches to Chapman, and he throws 3 straight strikes called for balls.
Struck him out 3 different times.
Chapman singles, and
it completely destroys the inning.
The Giants lead, and they end up winning the game.
Yeah, that. And think about it. He strikes him out. Guess what? It's 2 outs and a runner on first.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
You still get out of that inning.
He ends up not getting those 3 calls, which are all 3 of them strikes, and it completely changes the complexion of the inning. Because guess what? After he threw those 3 strikes, he was not the same. Perkering was not the same pitcher after that. The entire rest of the inning.
There's a website called Scorecards, and it shows all of the scorecards we got here. He had 85% called strike accuracy compared to 94 ball accuracy. 10 balls called inside. 2 strikes called outside. Dude, bottom of the 8th, dude. Runner on first, no outs, and a 2-2 count, which is called a ball. Come on, man. What are we doing? You're a freaking grown umpire. You're almost 70 years old. Go to a retirement home, you old hag.
Dude, it was... I was sitting there watching it, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. And as soon as he struck him out, and didn't get the call anytime that he struck him out on. So, he actually didn't strike him out, and he gets a single.
The worst part is...
As soon as that happened, I was like, dude, we're going to lose this game. And as soon as that happened, I was like, this game's over.
And that's what happened. They lost the game.
Yep.
They lost.
And not a single one of those balls was hit hard. Not a single one. Not a single one of those balls was hit out of the infield. All of them were hit within a 90-foot radius. They were all hit infield. Matt Chapman's went into the outfield, but it freaking landed 5 feet away from the plate and just rolled into the outfield. No balls were hit
This
particularly
is
hard.
pathetic. I mean, he's the second worst ranked umpire in baseball, besides
And
Buckner.
yeah, like this is what are we doing here? I hate to sit here and blame the umpire, but when you're going to be this bad for only one team in the game, how do you expect the team to overcome that?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, does he have Giants money line? Does he have the over on Giants strikeouts? Does he have the over on Giants hits, Giants runs? I don't know.
I don't know.
Investigate his ass for gambling if you have to.
But those were some very egregious
I mean,
calls. Like
this is something you would see from Angel Hernandez.
Bryce's at bat. Those balls were nowhere near the strike zone.
Oh yeah, no, they were nowhere close.
They weren't even close.
They were off the plate by inches.
He gave. I don't even know who was pitching because I was so not interested in who was pitching. I was only concerned with the umpire. But whoever it was threw a pitch that was about 3 inches low, called for a strike, and then threw a pitch that was about 4 inches high of the strike zone. Strike.
This is Rogers.
So yeah, you're gonna give him an extra 7 inches of vertical room to work with. How do you expect anyone to be able to hit anything?
I really don't know what it was with the umpire. I don't know if he just thinks that they can just stick the bat out there and make contact.
Like
you
that
can't
ball
really make contact on the pitch.
that Phil Cousy called for a strike that was high was at Bryce Harper's neck. Like it was same
I watched the replay.
level
It was right here
as his neck.
Uh-huh.
How is he supposed to hit that? How is that a strike?
The overall favor he got was plus 1.42 runs for the Giants. So
a whole run.
Basically,
he earned the Giants a run.
Yes, he earned the Giants a run. I mean, you gotta investigate this, man.
Like that is so beyond bad umpiring. That's like I don't even know what to say. Is this like the freaking independent leagues or something?
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Or are we watching the Camden River Sharks, or are we watching professional baseball?
5-6 figures a year.
Is this the Little League World Series where we're having people who are volunteering and they're flying in and they're paying all their shit?
I think the stupidest thing that Major League Baseball has done is not put the automatic ball and strike system in the major leagues. I don't know why they're waiting until 26. It looked good in spring training. I don't know why they couldn't just do it in the majors.
Mm-hmm.
If Bryce is that bad, he just taps his helmet twice. That's already 2-0. I mean, Orion Kirkland can tap his hat, and that's a strikeout right there. Who knows who knows the impact that can have on the game? Who knows if he gets out of that inning scoreless? Who knows if the Phils take the lead in the 9th inning? We don't know because shitty Rob Manfred wants to wait. And he's a terrible commissioner, too. I could go on about him, but, I'm not going to. I also don't like that he put Kershaw in the All-Star game. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
it's a legend pick.
Legend
pick. All right, cool. You got 3,000 strikeouts. Like, I get that they do it, but, like, come on. Give it to someone that's actually worthy of an All-Star. Clayton Kershaw's not All-Star worthy, dude.
I mean, unless you're going to expand the roster just to give him
if they expand the roster to give Kershaw a spot, but you're taking away a spot from one of the people we talked about.
Like, I'm fine with there being a quote-unquote legend spot on the roster, but then make it so that it's a complete extra roster spot. Mm-hmm. Don't take it away from someone else, like, because someone's a legend thing. Like, is it cool to see Clayton Kershaw pitching in probably his final year of baseball? Yeah, it's going to be cool to see him pitch in the All-Star
It's cool
game.
to see his 3,000 strikeouts.
Like when Miguel Cabrera was playing his final season, it was cool to see him at the All-Star game, see him interact with all the people that were there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's cool.
That's what.
But if
they need to make a specific spot for that.
Right, they need an actual designated roster spot where instead of it being 26 guys and one of the 26 is the legend pick, just make it 27. Make it 27 for the one game. You don't need to make it 26. It's the All-Star game. It's an exhibition game. It doesn't need to be uniform to the regular rules of baseball anyway. You know?
It doesn't really matter.
So it doesn't matter.
There's no 3 inning batter minimum or anything.
Right. Like, So who cares?
Mhm.
Like, you might as well just, if you want to include people as a legend pick, then just make a legend spot on the roster. And if you want to do that, then why don't you actually make it so that it's a yearly thing instead of just like a once in a
Yeah,
while thing?
because you're
Like,
able to add a legend from every single season who's going to retire.
right,
Whatnot.
like Paul Goldschmidt is
Mhm.
probably not going to be around for too much longer. I don't
You
know.
could do a legend spot for Paul Goldschmidt.
Exactly. One NL, one AL. Boom.
Mhm.
Right there. Like, you can offset it. It's not like there's only one league that has one legend and
Yeah.
that's it. Like, this is baseball. There's a ton of legends every year. You know? Like, so.
Soon it'll be Mike Trout.
I mean, like, think about it. Next year, wherever it's going to. Andrew McCutchen could be a legend pick. Like, he's.
Next year it's in Philadelphia.
Who wouldn't love to see Andrew McCutchen as a legend pick going right back to Philadelphia where he spent 3 or 4 seasons?
I love Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, like, dude, that would be great for baseball.
Mhm.
Everyone would love to see that. I'm sure the Philadelphia fans, who are a lot of them go to that All-Star game, would love to see Andrew McCutchen back for a game.
Yeah, Andrew McCutchen.
And to be able to cheer for it and all that stuff. They would love that. So, I mean, I like the idea of the legend pick. Just don't make it so that you're taking a roster spot away from someone that is deserving. Just give them an extra roster spot for a game.
Yeah, and I totally agree, but dude, I don't know. Especially, I don't think that'll ever go into place.
Depending upon how popular, or not maybe how popular people think it is this year, but depending upon how many times they do it, like, let's say, they do it this year, and, I don't know who else is close to a historic milestone right now, but.
I mean, Machado just got 2,000 hits, but he's still going to be playing for a pretty long time.
But, I mean, someone's close to 400 home runs, aren't they?
Yeah, Mike Trout's only like 7-something away, or like 6 or 7 away.
Right. So if he were to play, next season, hit to 400, if he doesn't get it this year, if he gets to 400 next year, doesn't have the greatest season, I could see him getting in as a legend selection.
He's only 8 away.
Yeah. And, if he's not able to get that this year, he hits his 400th next year, they're going to want Mike Trout in the All-Star game.
Oh, 100%.
Especially if he's healthy.
He'll get his 400th this year. I guarantee it.
Well, depending upon who knows with how many he might come back, have 3 at bats, and then freaking go down with another injury.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's the thing with Mike Trout. You never know. Unfortunately, the talent is so amazing.
I mean, he's already earned himself a spot in Cooper's talent, but
probably. I'm gonna say probably.
Definitely.
But yeah, I know that Schwarber's not too far. I mean, he's at low 300s right now.
He's at low 300s. I mean, he's closer to 350 than he is 400.
I was going to say, I think Machado is close around 350, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Machado just got his 2,000 hit, so.
No, I don't think he's very far from 350 home runs right now.
Yeah, he's at 357.
Oh, so he's already over 350.
Yeah.
So if he hits another, 13, 14 this year, you could potentially say he'll get it next year.
Yeah, he could definitely go, and have 400 by next year.
Right, and if, let's say 4 years down the line, who's to say that he's not having a great season, but he gets to 500 home runs?
Exactly.
That's entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
So if that happens, the MLB is going to want to celebrate someone that gets to the 500 home run mark, especially someone that does it with any accusation of performance-enhancing drugs. Because let's face it, a lot of people that get there now to that number kind of get accused of performance-enhancing drugs.
A lot of people that haven't really Hammer and Hank, Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
But Mark McGwire steroids, Bond steroids, Sosa steroids,
A-Rod
steroids. I mean, Pujols never did steroids.
Yeah, I don't think there was any PED accusations.
Yeah, no, he is 700.
But they're few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of guys that get to that list that don't have some type of allegation against them. How many people are even on that list in general?
500?
Yeah. 20?
Bonds.
It's not a lot.
Bonds, Ruth, Hank Aaron, Pujols, obviously,
I think Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, I think Sammy Sosa is
A-Rod's definitely there.
A-Rod's at like six
something.
698 or 699.
Mark McGuire was there.
Here we go. So Bonds, this is in order. Bonds.
So PED Bonds.
PED Bonds, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Pujols, A-Rod 696, Willie Mays.
So PED A-Rod. Two of them so far.
Yeah. Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., Jim Thome, Sosa. That's 3.
Okay,
Frank
Sosa
Robinson, Mark McGuire,
Armin
Killebrew, Rafael Palmeiro, Reggie Jackson, Manny Ramirez, Mike Schmidt.
Manny Ramirez, boom.
Big Poppy.
Big Poppy,
Commerce
6.
Comet, Jimmy Fox, Willie McCovey, Big Hurt, Ted Williams, Ernie Banks, Eddie Matthews, and then after Eddie Matthews, it's Miguel Cabrera at 5'11".
Okay, so that's what? Only 6?
Yeah, what do we say? Bonds, Sosa, McGuire, so that's 3.
Yep. And then you also got
Manny Ramirez,
so that's 4. David Ortiz, that's 5.
David Ortiz. I don't think David Ortiz has steroids.
I don't know if he was ever convicted, but he was accused of doing it multiple times.
Okay.
And there was another name on that list
Rafael
too.
Palmeiro? No,
I don't think it was him. Who was in between Ortiz and Ramirez?
Mickey Mantle.
I could have swore there was 6.
I call him Commerce Comet. And then after Miguel Cabrera, Mel Ott, Gary Sheffield, Eddie Murray, Lou Gehrig, Fred McGriff, Adrian Beltre. I'm just gonna go see the ones that actually did steroids. Jose Canseco, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know who else did steroids. Stanton never did steroids. Mike Trout obviously never did steroids. Albert Bell was a crackhead. No, yeah, I don't know anybody else that did steroids. But yeah, we're going a little off topic right now, anyway. So
yeah,
talking about our home runs and stuff.
But let's maybe reel it into some Sixers talk for a little bit.
Yeah, we can do that because
VJ Edgecombe had a fantastic outing in his NBA
Edgecombe
Summer League
versus
debut.
Ace Bailey, and finished with a double-double.
Ace Bailey finished looking like trash.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what you get by getting selected by the fuck ass Utah Jazz. But
and that's what you get for sitting there freaking complaining about
complaining about the Sixers and shit. VJ 28, 10 and 4, double-double. Only 1 for 7 from 3, but
yeah,
still look
not
really
the
good
greatest. But I mean, hey, can't argue with 28 points, 10 rebounds.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like, can't argue with that. So.
Jody Broom 13-5, and no assists, but it's still in a block. And he shot 2 out of 4 from 3. I mean, what do you really expect from a big man?
I don't really expect him to be playing too much for the Sixers this year. So.
Yeah, me neither. I feel like Bono will be the backup with 16 and 28 minutes, 8 points and assists, 72% field goal completion. So
yeah, I mean, Adem Bono proved last year he can play.
Yeah,
he can play.
He'll be on the bench.
Yeah, he'll definitely be on the roster, and he'll definitely get playing time.
He'll be the backup because they're gonna have to start Andre Drummond.
Yeah, he'll get a decent amount of minutes per game. He'll probably get his 15, 16 minutes a game.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Or if even like Drummond has to sit out, he can definitely start.
Yeah, I mean he could potentially get more than that.
Yeah, that was the first game, and now if VJ didn't play the second game due to a thumb contusion.
Oh yeah, he was out.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna play in Game 3?
I'm not sure yet.
I don't think I heard any word
about VJ
on that,
yet.
but I really hope they don't treat it like, oh, all right, well, he had one good showing and there's something going on with the slump, so we're shutting him down for the rest of the summer league. Like, I hope that's not what happens.
I hope that's not like that. I'm sure they'll continue to play him more during the summer league.
Yeah, because I want to see, I want to see more than just the 28 points.
This is the top 3 pick in the draft. Like, they're going to play him.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I feel like, because when remember Simmons had those 2 good NBA Summer League games, and then he had some type of thing where they were worried he might have an injury, so they just shut him down for the rest of the Summer League.
Yeah.
And then we never saw anything that we saw from the Summer League ever again from Ben Simmons. I just don't want, them to shut, VJ down after, he played good for 2 games, so.
I totally get what you're saying.
He doesn't need to play anymore. He'll be fine, and, he's not fine. Like,
Well, we got the retirement home coming back.
I know, with Eric Gordon and
Lowry,
Kyle Lowry. So I don't understand why you need
both of them.
both of them.
You don't need and you don't need either of them.
Yeah, you have. What is the purpose of having all of the assistant coaches that they have in the NBA if you're going to be freaking bringing in player coaches as well?
Yeah,
to
he
be
is,
like
he is
assistant.
he is essentially a player coach. He won't get any minutes.
Exactly. Him and both Eric Gordon are basically essentially going to be player coaches where they're not going to get minutes. I mean, Gordon might get like 4 minutes every here and there.
Yeah,
same with Lowry.
They'll get minutes when they're losing or winning by like 20 to 30.
But other than that, they're not going to be on the floor. Most of their contribution is going to be from the bench, like telling people, "Hey, this I see this, blah blah blah. There's that. I don't know if you've noticed this, stuff like that."
Yeah,
it's like
just make him a freaking coach.
Just make him a coach. What's the point in having a freaking dude? You see courtside at an NBA game.
Yeah,
everyone does. Guess what? There's like 3 rows of freaking coaches behind the bench. You literally see them all sitting there passing each other notes the entire time.
There's no point in them getting paid money to sit there and
how many coaches do you need? Do you need 27 coaches for 15 players?
I don't care that they're on vet minimum contracts. They're getting paid to do nothing. They're wasting this team money.
Guess what? A coach contract is a lot significantly less than a freaking veteran minimum contract.
Yeah, unless you're getting
unless you're a head coach.
Yeah, unless you're a head coach, like
if you're an assistant,
Mike Brown who got $40 million.
Yeah, if you're an assistant coach, you're not making over $1 million per season, most likely. So if you're signing them on to basically be coaches, then why don't you pay them as fucking coaches? And also, guess what? Coach money doesn't count as money toward your salary cap. But player coaches that are still players and you're paying them as players, that counts against your salary cap.
And dude, I don't know what Morey's fucking doing. Bring back these.
The Sixers could sit there and pay Nick Nurse $50 million per season if they wanted to, and they could go out and still sign whoever they want to because it doesn't impact the cap.
It doesn't impact the cap. And plus, we're talking about veterans.
Yeah.
Veteran pressings. How many more veterans does this team need? You got Drummond. You got George. You can count Embiid as a veteran if you really wanted to, dude.
Y'all, think about it. The combined age of Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon is older than Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, and VJ
Edgecombe. Which is ridiculous.
The combined age of Eric Gordon and Kyle Lowry is 70-something years old? Kyle Lowry's 39, Eric Gordon is 34.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry is 40 or something, I think.
So
I don't give a shit.
So combined age of 75 years old almost?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
VJ is 19. Maxey is 23 or 24?
Somewhere around there, yeah. Yeah, we know VJ's 19, Maxey is his early 20s, 24, yep.
So 19 plus 24 gets you to 45. And then you got Jared McCain, who is also 19 now.
Yeah, Jared McCain's 21.
Oh, he's 21. So 45 plus 21. Yeah, so that's 66. That's still another 10 years younger than the combined age of Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon.
Which is absolutely crazy. And we're paying these guys money.
Yes. For basically zero production.
I can't wait till Daryl Morey's fired from being the basketball operations president of the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean,
I know, I'm looking forward to that.
We might have to shoot fireworks in the parking lot of the Wells Fargo Center. We might have to, dude.
Well, it's not going to be the Wells Fargo Center. It's now the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Xfinity Mobile Arena, yep.
God, that just sounds so weird.
Yeah, well, Comcast paid a lot of money, so.
Oh, also, I think we should mention Philadelphia's getting a WNBA team.
They are, yep.
2030.
Hey, it's coming when the new
building is. So, I mean, hey, that's pretty cool. You know,
hopefully they'll get more wins than the Sixers. They probably will.
I mean, it's about time that they got a WNBA team.
About time, yeah. Something I could watch other than the Sixers. That's maybe not going to suck ass every single night on the court, but.
Well, thing is that it's going to be owned by Josh Harris. And
Yeah,
them.
which is just another shitty nail in the coffin.
So hopefully he actually hires the right people to do the job for that organization. Now, do we know what they're going to be called?
but not yet. I've heard like the Liberty Bells, Belles. I've heard the 76 Hers. Yeah, these names are pretty bad, man.
What's going to be next? The Patriots? Like, Jesus.
The Freedom, the Revolution.
Okay, the Freedom, I guess. The Revolution
the Liberty,
ain't bad, but...
The Johns.
Well, they're all... Isn't the New York the Liberty? The New York Liberty? Lady Liberty?
Yeah, New York
like,
Liberty.
You can't do Liberty.
Uh-huh.
So...
That's why people were thinking about the Liberty Bells.
No, you can't do that either.
You can't do that either.
You can't have the Liberty and the Liberty Bells.
Yeah, no. It feels like the Pirates were called like the Pirates and the
or if like the Pirates, then there was another team called the Pirate Scum. Like it's like all right, real lazy.
It's like if the Phillies and like I don't know what I can make a name for the Pirates, but like
the Scurvy Pirates.
Yeah,
like
the Pirates and the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make any sense, dude. They're like the exact same team, just different names.
Yeah. You know what's funny? People even call the Pirates in baseball the Bucks sometimes.
Yeah,
They'll
do.
say the Bucks.
Yeah.
So
go Buccos. Raise a Jolly Roger is what the broadcaster says.
So
one more thing about Gershon Yabusele.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Gershon.
Because in this interview, he told this SK Week TV. I don't know what the hell this is, but I'm guessing it's something like France or something. Maybe I don't know.
Or maybe something like New York, because like the Knicks, it might be like a Knicks thing, where it's like some type of YouTube channel or something like that. I don't know.
So he signed for the Knicks for $12 million, and he told like this TV that the Sixers' offer was so low, he felt like they didn't want to resign him. Felt like they didn't want to come back. So I'm guessing the offer was got to be somewhere in like the veteran minimum, because. Mm-hmm. The offer was so low, he didn't even consider wanting to come back. Yeah, I mean... It's just another example of Darren Ford being your shit GM.
The fact that you're willing to sit there and pay money no one else is willing to pay Eric Gordon and Kyle Lowry, but you're not willing to pay Gershon Yabusele money that other teams are willing to pay him, you don't think that's an indication that maybe you shouldn't be signing the two guys that you just signed?
And the same thing that goes with Grimes. I've heard they want to retain Grimes. They're not going to retain Grimes for his $25 million asking price. He's not going to play for his qualifying restricted tag, whatever the damn thing is called, the qualifying offer.
Well,
he's not going to play for little money now.
Right, but the Sixers can theoretically just match whatever offer he does get.
They can match, but
as long as, because I honestly don't think he's going to get 25. From another team?
No, he won't get 25 by any team.
But, 15. I could see 18, maybe.
I could see 15, maybe.
But I could see around the same contract as well as Gershon.
Yeah.
12 and a half.
$12 million a year? Perfectly fine, dude.
10, 12, 15, somewhere in that range.
Like, if the Sixers can match that, it'll be fine. I don't want the Sixers giving him 9 figures.
No, they won't be able to afford that.
They won't be able to afford it yet. And there's been no Sixers rumors or trades or anything, so we're sticking with the
probably not going to be any trades.
Paul George for another season. So get ready to lose 60 games this year, Sixers Nation, because it's going to happen.